You need to turn over a new leaf this year. You genuinely do. And go ahead and align yourself, because I know that you are not better off. And some of you have been watching me and y'all thought our ministry was going to fall. And I'm not here chiding you, chastising you. That's not what I'm doing. But you thought our ministry was going to fall. You did. You made the mistake of thinking that somehow our ministry was supported from without rather than supported from within. And by that, I mean Jesus is our source and our supply. Now, certainly he could use you, and in times gone by, have used a lot of you to do loving things to the ministry, to do some loving things. And we had a loving relationship, many of you, we did. But you have to understand something, and you have to understand it clearly. There is no way on God's green earth that I could, with now this realizing just how dirty Tribulation Trump is, just how much of a degenerate he is, a public degenerate, a pathological lie. There is no way that I, as a man of God, could ever, people like that King woman, what's her name? Alviva King, and that Jesse Lee Peterson, and a bunch of others support. It just don't make no sense for them to be that low-lifed, to still, after all these years, seeing how dirty Trump is, how he curses people, how he blasphemes, how he locks up babies, takes them away from their mamas, and how he disparages people and curses and lies and cheats and steals, that somebody like Jesse Lee Peterson or Viva King and a whole bunch of other Hamite people still sucking up to this low life. And the thing that's important, and I can name a whole lot of others, the thing of it is, it's just despicable that you still associate with this slime bag, this sleazeball. But and many of you, other than the Hamites, but Japheth people, before Trump ever run for president, you wouldn't spit on him because he was so dirty. Casino owner, divorced, married 3 times, and you wouldn't spit on him. You wouldn't. Here's another thing too. The other day, Giuliani was talking about, Trump was talking about Giuliani was coming back from the Ukraine with a whole lot of new information that was just going to blow the roof off everybody's head. But let me tell you something. That's how the Trump lies. When Trump was a so-called birther, he probably never was. Remember, Trump said he sent somebody out, one of his boys, out to Hawaii to dig up dirt on Obama's birth certificate, and he got on television and said, the man is coming back with a whole lot of information about Obama, stuff you would never believe that he found out about Obama's birth certificate. It was a lie. He didn't have nothing. He didn't find out nothing in Hawaii that everybody else didn't know, including me and all it takes. No, it was nothing. Jerome Corsi that Trump had, but he came back and said he got a whole. So when I heard Trump talking about Giuliani coming back from Ukraine with a whole lot, I said, that's the same lie he told about Obama finding information on him out there in Hawaii. The man is just a sicko. He's a sick liar. That boy needs to be under medical doctor's care. And yet he's got these people. And you cannot tell me, you can't tell me that you don't feel dirty being a Trump supporter. You can't tell me you feel clean about it. You can jump up and down and scream and do all the other kind of things, but even you are cleaner than that. But you still got to support him because you're committed to him now, and you done you burn all your bridges, all the bridges you burned behind you. There ain't no place you can't go back to Ted Cruz or Marco Rubio or Jeb Bush or John Kasich. You can't go back to none of those people. You burned all your bridges. You are stuck with Trump. But you got to feel dirty. You got to feel dirty. It's like having sex with a $10 whore on 42nd Street in New York City. You did it, or you stopped at a truck stop and had sex with a truck stop prostitute between the trucks down the freeway. Then you get back in the truck. You feel dirty. You feel dirty. Well, I'll tell you something. You could have sex with 100 truck stop prostitutes along the freeway. You could have sex with a prostitute in New York City, in a back door bar somewhere, in a bathroom, in a dirty bar in Hell's Kitchen in New York City, and you'll still be 1,000 times cleaner than voting and supporting or watching Fox News and talking about Trump. You dirty. I mean, you dirty, and you know you're dirty. You know you're dirty. Let me tell you something. Let's take somebody like Aviva King, for instance, right? Or this Jesse Lee Peterson, and all these Hamites. Are you going to tell your children? You going to tell your grandchildren? You going to tell you going to stand up in the church? You going to tell your grandchildren that you support the coochie grabber? Aviva King, Jesse Lee Peterson, you going to tell your grandchildren you support the coochie grabber? Is that right? That the coochie grabber is giving you judges? And by the way, I was teaching y'all the other day in Mark's Gospel, that was in Matthew's Gospel chapter 7, verse 17, that a bad tree a corrupt tree cannot bring forth good fruit. The Bible says a corrupt tree can only bring forth evil fruit. You say, well, we're getting good judges. No, you're not. You're getting bribes. You're getting scoundrels. You're getting people who ain't got no business sitting on the court. They say they're conservative, but they ain't got no business sitting in justice over nobody. They're not integral. They're not clean, like that Kavanaugh boy that allegedly raped that Blasey Ford woman, that snivering little twit. Kavanaugh, that little Kavanaugh boy, he ain't no Supreme Court justice. He's unfit. He's unfit to serve anywhere. Trump put him on the Supreme Court. Raping women, alleged to be raping women. He ain't no judge, ain't no justice. You ain't getting no good fruit. You're getting everything that Trump has done is corrupt. Every judge he has promoted is a corrupt judge. And the money he stole from the U.S. Treasury, that $1.5 trillion, and even the stock market, that is corrupt as well, because the love of money is the root of all evil. People keep saying, as long as the stock market is doing good, they don't care what Trump does. He can shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue. As long as the stock market, the love of money will let you let Trump shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue. You're sick. You're dirty. You're dirty. You're dirty. You're dirty. You're dirty. You Trump supporter. You're dirty. Dirty. You're dirty. You're dirty, dirty, dirty. You're dirty. You stink. You're dirty. You're scabby. You're scabby. You look like you just washed you Trump supporters. You got that red hat on you. You know what I see when I see your Trump supporter come here with that red hat? I see somebody who look like they just wiped their face with a menstruating cloth. That's what you look like. You look like you just grabbed one. Somebody threw one away in the garbage and you grabbed it and washed your face before going out the house with a menstruating cloth. You're dirty. You're dirty. I said, you're dirty. You're dirty. You're dirty. You're dirty. Trump supporter talking about that he's God sent him. What a liar! From now on, Mr. Engineer, do you have Jerry Falwell Jr., Franklin Graham, Robert Jeffers, James Dobson? You had that picture of those. They got that collage up. Show them up. These are men that wash their face with menstruating cloths. By the way, the word menstruating cloth is in the Bible, so don't try to get angry, get an attitude. The word menstruating cloth, see, they're not rednecks now, they're red-faced. They're menstruating cloths. They are the men that wash their face with menstruating cloths. These Trump people, these Trump supporters. Look at that Jerry Falwell Jr. Look at him. And that James Dobson, and that Franklin Graham. Billy is deader than a doorknob. And then of course you got that. These you're dirty. These are some dirty. These people are dirty. These Angela King. These some dirty men. These some dirty men hanging out with that dirty tribulation Trump. And so I'm here to tell you, nothing that a corrupt tree cannot bring forth good fruit. And first of all, you say out of one side of your mouth that Trump is corrupt, then out of the other mouth you say, but he's doing good things. That's impossible. Now you're calling Jesus a lie. You say out of your mouth that, well, Trump is doing good things, but on the other side of the mouth you say, but we know he is corrupt. But God particularly chose a corrupt. You are lying that Robert Jeffers, that Billy Franklin Graham are saying that God chose a corrupt tree. Now listen what Jesse Lee Peterson and Franklin Graham and everybody, they're saying that God chose a corrupt tree. They're saying that God chose a corrupt tree, like he chose Cyrus. God chose a corrupt tree to bring forth good works. You done blaspheme your way into the sub-basement of hell. I'm sitting there listening to these people. I'm listening to them, and they're talking about God chose a corrupt tree. That God chose Trump. God chose a corrupt tree to do good works in America. Now you're saying Jesus is a lie, because Jesus said a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. But you see how sick, how dirty these people are? It is a shame and a scandalous that that's what's going on in our world today. But it is. And it's because we're in the tribulation. These men don't know God. They probably have never known God. They've never known the power of God. So I thought I would make that statement clear to you today. Now, in fact, I just turn a corner here for just a second. This is a bit of a news blog we do, looking at spiritual wickedness in high places for the most part, making some observations about it and giving people a biblical foundation to the way of interpreting, rather than have Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or Janine Pirro or Anderson Cooper or Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon, Rush Limbaugh interpret what's going on in the world. You come to me and I'll tell you based on what the Word of God says. They'll just give you their worldly, sinful view. But the Manning Report will tell you what God has said, whether to say yea or nay, whether to go or to stay. You'll be led by the word of Almighty God. Come to the Manning Report on a daily basis to interpret the spiritual wickedness in high places, because there's plenty of it that's going on. And so I'm the Lord's servant, James David Righteous Rebel Manning, and I'm here to serve you with news and information.